Hello? Tonight we're diving into a topic that's often overlooked but has huge implications for America's place in the world foreign aid. Specifically, we're talking about USAID, the United States Agency for International Development. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, foreign aid? That's about as exciting as watching paint dry. But hold on, because USAID isn't just about handing out cash. It's been a major player in global development for decades, tackling poverty, fighting disease, and promoting democracy around the world. Think of it like this. USAID is like that friend who's always there to lend a helping hand, whether you need someone to water your plants while you're on holiday, or, help rebuild your entire country after a natural disaster. Now, USAID hasn't been without its critics. Some argue it's just a way for America to exert its influence abroad. Others say it's inefficient and prone to corruption. And look, those criticisms aren't entirely unfounded, but there's no denying that USAID has made a real difference in the lives of millions of people. So, why are we talking about USAID tonight? Well, because its future is looking a little uncertain, thanks to a certain someone who seems to think America first means everyone else last. That's right, folks, it's Donald Trump. The man who loves a good deal, especially if it involves slashing someone else's budget. In 2017, the Trump administration announced plans to cut USAID funding by a whopping 90%. 90%. That's not a haircut, that's a full-blown scalping. The reasoning behind this drastic move? You guessed it, America first. The Trump administration argued that foreign aid was a waste of taxpayer money and that those funds could be better spent at home. Now, I'm all for investing in America, but let's be honest, this wasn't about fiscal responsibility. It was about Trump's isolationist worldview, his belief that America should focus inward and leave the rest of the world to fend for itself. These proposed cuts sent shockwaves through the international development community. Experts warned of dire consequences, predicting that millions of people would be pushed back into poverty and that America's standing in the world would take a serious hit. But did the Trump administration listen? Of course not. They were too busy building walls and starting trade wars to care about the needs of people in developing countries. So, what happened next? Well, it turns out that even Congress, that bastion of common sense and fiscal responsibility, said no one ever, thought that cutting USAID funding by 90% was a tad extreme. So the Trump administration's attempt to gut USAID was thankfully thwarted. But that doesn't mean there weren't consequences. Even with reduced cuts, USAID's budget was still significantly impacted, leading to scaled-back programs and fewer resources for critical initiatives. Now, I'm no foreign policy expert, but even I can tell you that cutting aid to countries struggling with poverty, disease, and instability is a recipe for disaster. It's like trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it. And guess what? It doesn't make America safer. In fact, it does the opposite. When we pull back from our commitments to global development, we create a vacuum that other actors, some not so friendly, are more than happy to fill. And let's not forget the impact on America's image abroad. When we turn our backs on the world's most vulnerable people, it sends a message that we're more interested in looking out for ourselves than in being a global leader. And that, my friends, is not a good look. But the impact of these cuts goes beyond geopolitics. It's about real people's lives. It's about the mother in rural Uganda who can no longer access life-saving healthcare for her child. It's about the young girl in Afghanistan who's denied an education because her local school lost funding. These are the human costs of America's retreat from global leadership. So, where does this leave us? The Trump administration's assault on foreign aid may be over, but the America First ethos continues to cast a long shadow over American foreign policy, and that has serious implications for the future of global development. When America disengages from the world stage, it creates a leadership vacuum. Other countries, seeing America's retreat, may be less inclined to step up and contribute to international development efforts. This could lead to a decline in overall global aid, leaving millions of people without access to essential services and opportunities. And let's not forget the impact on America itself. When we invest in global development, we're not just helping others, we're also creating a more stable and prosperous world for ourselves. By promoting economic growth, fighting disease, and advancing democracy, we're creating markets for American goods, reducing the threat of terrorism, and strengthening our relationships with other nations. In the end, the question is simple. What kind of America do we want to be? Do we want to be a nation that turns its back on the world, that prioritizes its own narrow interests above the needs of others? Or do we want to be a nation that leads with compassion and generosity, that uses its power and influence to make the world a better place for everyone? The choice is ours. Let's hope we make the right one. If you found this video insightful, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more important stories to light. Thank you.